Queen Latifah and Keith Lee versus the ATL. Uh-oh.
Oh, Queen Latifah on Keith Lee's side now too.
Must
Oh,
be
go at them. Do it. Because they
versus
doing they those all them restaurants is for clout.
yeah. I imagine that that's how ATL is. People be standing out in lines for hours trying to get into restaurants, especially celebrity-owned restaurants. And the food, I've been hearing a lot of the service has been trash, especially at Candy's restaurant. She was getting a lot of bad, and I love Candy, but she was getting a lot of bad reviews on her restaurant.
So there was an interesting documentary that ESPN did back in the day, where it's like Ballin' to Broke or something like that, where it followed a lot of celebrities, mostly in the sport realm, that went off and they did different things. And one of the things that they covered was, of course, like when you see athletes going into like dining, right? Where a lot of them like either like purchase a franchise or they make their own thing, but because they don't have any experience with that or don't know what all having a restaurant entails, like it ends up falling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I mean, like, it's really easy to say, I have a vision, I want to sell tacos or whatever. But
That's
what
what I
makes your
was
tacos
telling
stand out to
Royal.
somebody?
That's what I was
Yeah.
telling Royal. Restaurants especially are hard because just because you like to cook don't mean you should do a restaurant. It's just
Facts.
it's not always the right thing to go into. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's competitive. You have to have something that stands out.
You got to have the right location as well, the right marketing team, everything
Right.
else behind it. And then
Honestly,
you have to understand the logistics for it too, because like you're purchasing everything in mass, multiple quantities compared to like just making it at your house for people.
Right.
and plus you're
Yeah.
competing with all the big brands and all of that too.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Which is why I really like Keith Lee because he puts them on an even
He
footing.
does.
And I look, people, I would not trust a star going to a place to get food because they're going to give you their best.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Keith Lee makes Keith Lee different. He's just going there. He's not coming in though.
Right. You
Mm-hmm.
just want
So
to taste the food.
he just want to taste the food. So he's going to tell you the real. Is it good? Were they nice to me on the phone?
Yeah.
I respect what he's doing too because he's been helping a lot of people. But I also feel like the people questioning his validity is fair too because uh do you have training to be able to say what's good and what's not good? Because really, if you see his reviews, he's not really giving like a Guy Fieri who was going around trying different stuff and he telling you what makes these places good. He knows enough to give you that detailed description of everything or whatever. So I think it's fair for them to question that too, but it is what it is. He got the platform. He's able to do it, and people listen to him. So y'all can't get mad. That's
I
that's
mean,
how
not
social media
a
is.
chef's palate is always going to be different than everyday people's palate, and normal people
Right.
really don't care about a lot of those different intricacies
And I
about it.
get that, but I'm
yeah.
not taking a review from somebody that I'm not taking a review from nobody. I'm just going to try it myself because everything is different for everybody.
Well,
Review for
and
me
the
is
other
based
thing
on
that you have to look
service.
at too is like everybody starts somewhere. This guy, he might just be like a new food critic or like a reviewer or something like that.
Yeah, I
But
ain't taking none of that away from him. I'm just saying it's
yeah,
fair for them to question his validity too.
yeah. But I mean, like, is he like telling you that something that looks like pig slop is fucking banging, or is he actually going out there and getting stuff that looks decent and palatable? Is he going to places where he's like asking people like, "Yo, what's a spot around here? I'm hungry. I'm looking for tacos or some shit." Oh no, I really want tacos. I just had Chinese food at Taco Bell. It's great.
A lot of
It's like,
times now people are sending him places to go like that, like
okay,
in neighborhood, or they asking him to come there,
okay. So
check out
he's
their.
got
Yep, the restaurants are asking him to come in there, which is stupid. If you ask him to come and then he come and review and you get mad at what he says, like you asked him to come.
And his thing is he's gonna be 100% honest if he likes it, and he always says that's the thing too. This is just my opinion. You might like it. For
At
me,
the same time, who cares about that?
I mean, I fuck with that. Because
You
like
can give
if
all the
someone
disclaimers
has to
that you
go in
want
there,
against people, but if you say something negative about a restaurant or you say you don't really like it like that, people are going to go with that. They do not care about your little disclaimer. And
yeah,
that's another thing being an influencer that you got to keep in mind when you're giving your advice on these things. It does not matter if you're being positive. It doesn't matter how you do it. People are still going to take what you say and run with it.
yeah.
They are.
And I mean, like, the reason why I fuck with that is because, like, even in my group of, like, my fraternity boys or whatever, like, when a burger stand comes up or whenever I'm in a different state or something, and one of them's around, I'm like, hey, what's a place that you like eating at, right? Like, where can I go and where can I get a burger, like, for $10 with some fries and, like, a large drink or something? And I'll be like, yo, go here. Okay. Well, what do you like about it? They give you a lot of food. Good? And they're like, to me, it's good. To you?
The reviews be like, the fries are seasoned good. It's hot. Y'all should try it. That's how it sound to me. I'm sorry.
Hot, fast,
it's
good quantity of food, price, taste.
Early this year when he started, it sounded like that, but lately it's been a little bit more detailed.
Okay, so yeah, he's finally getting into his groove then.
It's more flavorful, like this, like things that but still he's originally he's still originally just a UFC fighter, so.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is too, like, he's trying to branch out, and I get that.
I think it's what he's doing is good though, because he's helping a lot of small businesses. So regardless of what anybody thinks about,
he don't be asking none of them for nothing. He don't ask them to sponsor him. He goes there and
spends got money from kicking ass.
He's spending money with them. He's tipping the people if they're giving him good service. So he's doing right.
Yeah, he's doing a good thing. But like I said, I see both sides.
Send me his thing. I'll give him a follow too, because I respect the game. Hopefully one day I can do shit like that.
I follow him on TikTok.
But it's just amazing that you could just get on social media and do something and blow up and matter.
I mean, I'm trying to get there.
I like him as a person though.
It's amazing. I like him as
his personality is cool.
I don't know. I haven't really seen any personal stuff for me to say I like him as a person.
Watch the Kev on Stage interview that he did. Probably the best interview that he's done. Well, I don't know if he's done it anymore, but it's good. You get to know him.
Yeah. Send me his stuff too. I'll give him a follow.
I think I follow him on Instagram.
All right, send it somewhere. I got an Instagram too. You both have it.
He kind of blew up on TikTok.
No, he did blow up. I think he like 15 million in now almost.
God damn.
Which is amazing.
Can you imagine what would happen if we got to 15 million followers apiece?
I don't want all that.
I
ain't gonna lie.
I hope, I just don't want to get that where it's just like every day we get a new 100,000 followers. Oh, please no, please no.
I get a lot with the dozens that I get every day, the hundreds of notifications that I get. Sometimes I get overwhelmed and I just be like, I'm not going on there right now. I'll do that later.
Oh, I'm fine with all the messages I get. Like when I have 200 or 300 in my inbox, it may take me a month to get there. I'm looking through seeing what people are sending.
I think that's the thing too. When you intend to respond to everybody. When you're a person that doesn't care, you're not going to respond to everybody. Those notifications don't matter to you.
I still don't respond to everybody.
I respond to most people. I don't respond to everybody either. I respond to most people though. But if you commenting on my stuff, I'm responding to you.
Oh yeah.
But
I want to show everybody that I'm a person. So if I post a video, best believe I'm going to look at the comments within that week and I'm going to respond to everybody on there. My DMs or whatever, because I have so many people
to do it within a day. Because week, I can't. Imagine.
I work.
I can't. I
work a lot.
Having like all of that, like I'd be overwhelmed when I got 5 messages.
I try to do it like every day or every other day. I try to like at the end of the day when I feel like people sleeping, I'll go and respond.
So they don't have to. You don't have to respond to this.
So they won't go back and forth with me. I'm like, this a lot. Like, imagine when I get 10 million. I mean, 10,000, even 10,000, 15,000, 20,000. That's a lot.
And especially the people that want to engage with you, all of those people, like, it's like, oh.
And I feel like I create my platform that way. I engage with people, so they're gonna be expecting that.
Mm-hmm.
So
I be doing the back and forths. The niggas be flirting, and I be flirting with them as the character. And I just hope that they understand that this is not me flirting with you. It's this character.
They absolutely do not.
They do not.
They do not.
Oh, I think she likes me. I think she likes me.
I don't know you, so I can't like.
And they had, she liked me.
They
They got an ongoing narrative, especially if they commented on.
I hope y'all know. I need to put that in my bio.
You do. really do. You
This
gotta specify.
this is not me. This is the character.
These
Whoever you
niggas
come
will think
in
it's
on.
real.
I might be that one to slip in. You never know.
But before we end up talking for 2 more hours,
Oh yeah.
let's start the
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
Transition. We were talking about food, so it's a perfect transition into Thanksgiving. You know,
Friendsgiving.
Friendsgiving
Friendsgiving episode.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your man, Royalty. We're here today,
And I'm the sensual genius,
and welcome to another episode of the Royal Genius Podcast.
where we take a look at things affecting the Black community from a sociological and psychological lens.
Plus, we always keep it real.
In this episode, we're gonna do a Friendsgiving episode. We're gonna try to do some episodes that are holiday related, you know, even though we are Scrooges,
Scrooges, I am Scrooge all the way.
Bah humbug.
I feel like I am too. I like anti-holiday stuff. I don't like my mama sent me a Christmas movie the other day, and I'm just like, girl, I don't care who's in this movie. I hate Christmas movies.
But you don't like mass consumerism and presents and stuff and people trying to buy you things?
Well, no, because I don't never like the gifts. Sometimes I do. I feel like my family is getting better with gifts.
Oh, your family wasn't that great with presents?
No.
Oh.
Because they had the mindset of, it's the thought that counts. No, it's not. You know what I like.
Don't tell me your parents were the ones that just bought you socks.
Oh no, my mama, we don't do gifts the same way everybody else do. We have our wish lists, and then we pick whatever we want off those wish lists, and we give them to each other. And it's not for Christmas. Whenever we buy them, we give them to each other. We don't save them.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I don't believe in the thought that counts thing too, especially if
Me
I did
neither.
it. If I tell you what I want and you give me something different, don't do that. Don't do that. And I'm supposed to be thankful.
That's not what gifts are about. With a gift, you're supposed to give people what they want, not what you want them to have. That's not how gifts work.
I saw you needed this. I could have gotten that for myself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I saw you needed underwear. That's not a gift.
No, that's just growing up and maintenance.
Exactly, maintenance.
I see you needed some new socks when you go back inside.
If you buy a kid a brush, underwear, socks, t-shirts.
And I'm so easy to please. Like, you just buy me any comfort item, bedroom shoes, rolls, blanket. You can do no wrong when you buy me stuff like that.
I mean, I don't remember the last time I asked for a gift, but I've gotten everything from flowers to watches to jewelry to random gadgets, all that stuff, which is all fine, just because I've been one to not ask for anything, and I appreciate everything. But, yeah. I mean, the thought that counts works for me.
Yeah.
I know nobody's going to just go out there and buy me drawers or socks, because I kind of change out the rotation pretty frequently just to make sure I don't have any holes and shit,
Well,
I barely go anywhere, so I don't even wear my stuff like that. But yeah, just to move on with the topic at hand, we can go into the first segment, which is the What's Your Theory segment, with this question. What is a moment we shared this year that you have gratitude for? Because I want this Friendsgiving episode to be about gratitude and mindfulness. Kind of like a progress report of, the influence that we have over each other in the podcast.
Boonie, when you invited me onto this podcast, I mean, I'm like one of those weirdos on TikTok that's just like all over the fucking place, right? I'm doing voice acting, I'm doing music shit, I'm screaming, I'm posting cap cuts, I'm doing all kinds of shit. And when you asked me to do this was like during the time frame where TikTok families were asking me to get involved. I would find somebody found my Discord name and put me in a group. I look at it. So I got into like 2 voice acting groups. Then I had one follower from the Arcane family stalk my page for about half a year. Then she added me into that group because she's like, "You're fucking dope. You're in this group now." And I'm like, "Okay, cool. What do I do?" And
You're
then it's like,
she
you
said,
know,
you're dope.
yeah. And then like you sent me a DM that same week and you're like, "Hey, I'm on a podcast with Royal and a couple of other people. You introduced me to Royal like on a live or something, and you were sending him my content along the way, and then we clicked. And then like I get on here and then I meet everybody else and I'm like, all right, cool. We're just family at this point.
Right.
So thanks for that.
Yeah, I'm glad that you have gratitude for that. What about you, William?
I was going to say the exact same thing. Allowing me to be a part of this podcast, man, has been like one of the best things I've done in a while. Because I am very much a comfort zone type of person. So like
Yeah.
doing this for me has been real whole lot of fun. I'm meeting different people. Some people, most of the people I enjoy.
Mhm.
One of them, not so much. But you know, the rest of y'all are cool, so I like that.
I'm laughing because of the next question.
Shit.
All right. Same. I was laughing because of the next question too. But for me, it's when we merged. Like we brought our 2 podcasts together, me and Royal. And I just like the fact it's different for me because I'm usually a loner. Like I like being by myself. I'm doing this by myself. I'm doing that by myself. But being able to be around people that I really feel like I fit in with, because I've always had a hard time fitting in. So I'm grateful for y'all. You know, y'all call yourselves weirdos. I'm a weirdo too, and I like the fact that I could be weird with everybody.
Yeah.
For me, it was the merger too, and then making these connections because Boonie and I had started talking about it probably in May, probably about possibly joining a podcast together. But it's like, what would that look like?
Yeah.
Because we have made the review channel beforehand, and then it's like, and then who's gonna be on? Because we had went through a couple of people before that was like, dang, one person ghosted us.
Ghosted.
Like
After a really good episode.
great episode, actually. Like that was a great episode, and then just disappeared, and we still ain't heard from him. So it was being able to make
ghost of Christmas past.
yeah, right. You gonna come back one day with the hood on.
One of these days. Y'all remember me?
Nope.
Don't know who you are.
Who's that motherfucker?
But it was that, and then making these connections with real friends who I consider William and Bert and Van to be real friends. Like y'all are real friends, and we have separate conversations. We could be. It's crazy to me, like to see my inbox sometimes and be like, Boonie sent me this, Bert sent me this, and William sent me this. And we are having like 3 separate conversations.
Right.
Some of them be overlapping and we don't even know it.
Exactly. So that's been my favorite moment. It's an amalgamation of all of it together.
Yeah,
Hell
I
yeah.
feel like I like the group that we have. You know, even when the ones that are not able to come every day, Shaya and India as well. I like that we're able to, you know, swap people out whoever is available, and we're still able to have a good conversation. That's what I wanted to do when I started podcasting. I never had an idea of having a set cast. I just wanted to talk to people about things that I didn't see other people talking about, or in a way that I didn't see other people talking about it. Because I feel like, you know, the age of podcast has arrived. You know, there are podcasts everywhere, but I feel like ours is different because we talk about the psychology and sociology behind everything. So we want to know the why do we act like this? What's the root of that problem? How can we fix this issue? And you know, what are some of the reservations we still have even after having these conversations, because that's a thing. So, you know, I enjoy this space, try to create a healthy space. Sometimes things don't work out, but I'm still going to roll with the punches and keep it moving.
For real. One thing I want to say too is before we had a similar mindset about what our platforms were, because mine was about having healthy conversations. I always felt like everybody has something to say. Everybody is unique within themselves, and so I saw other podcasts where people were arguing or fighting or trying to fight for the spotlight, and I'm like, why though? Like,
Right.
why? We could have an episode today where William is the highlight and he is the MVP of the episode, and nobody would feel a type of way about
Right.
Oh,
it.
because I feel like we all are stars in our own
Right,
right. I feel like we all bring something amazing to the podcast or whatever. So
right.
I ain't gonna step on nobody's toes. I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
let
big you
y'all
up, and damn sure I'm gonna
exactly.
make a clip of that because I'm gonna be like, boom,
That
that's gonna
nigga,
be the
that
first
nigga,
clip to come out.
that
Oh
nigga
yeah,
was
and you
funny.
see that every week when you guys
Yeah.
start posting like the highlights for the episode
Mhm.
leading up to that Friday. It's like, huh,
Mhm. You be like, I didn't even know I
guy,
said that.
Right.
that gal. Okay, all right. Then you get some embarrassing moment of me, and I'm like, I did say that. Fuck.
Yeah, we get it all. Got to get
Yeah.
it. But moving on to the next segment, which is the Hear Me Out segment. What is a moment you've shared this year that rubbed you the wrong way that you've shared with us? And no hard feelings about anything. Like I said, this is kind of like a progress report. We want to kind of gauge if we're effective to each other or not, because that matters to me.
Well, I'll start with that. So I'll say, first of all, that I don't feel a type of way about any of the stuff I've shared with y'all. I think I let y'all know a lot about me, and I'm not ashamed of none of it.
You have had some amazing stories.
Facts.
Yes. And I enjoyed sharing them with y'all, especially the haunted apartment. Because that's what we
That
was talking
episode
about.
was Bert, you
We was
gotta
Happy
talking
light
watch
about
that.
episode.
You have to watch that episode. That episode
It
was
was
amazing.
before we merged.
Yeah,
Was it on
it was on both of our. Was it on? It was it a
or was it
joint? I think it was probably on my platform, probably
I
on the
think
Social Psycho.
was it I can't remember.
I have to send it to you, Bert.
Okay, yeah, do that because I definitely love me some spooky shit. So if I see lights flickering or something like that, I'm gonna be like, huh. Get some Palo Santo over there, brother. You need to like cleanse the house.
it was very entertaining, bro. I'm telling you.
It
All right,
definitely
all
was.
right. For me, I got no regrets. You guys put me on, I think, around episode 3 of the Merge podcast. Every episode for me has been fun. I've shared a little bit more about myself on here as we've progressed and, life experience kind of matches up with it or whatever. But yeah, I'm just glad to be here.
I would say, I haven't really had a whole lot of things with y'all that rubbed me the wrong way. I kind of like wherever it goes, I'm accepting of it. So there's nothing that rubs me the wrong way. Like I said, we want the platform to be open, a space for anybody to be on, to share, to whatever. And we value the fact that y'all share y'all stories, because I know sometimes it might be hard. It might be something that you've never talked about before. I ask a lot of hard questions. I try to get in y'all business, to kind of see the type of people that y'all are. Because every time I'm sitting here in this chair and I'm listening to y'all, I'm like, oh, so he's that type of person, or he's this type of person, or that's interesting, or that was cool to know about them. Like, I like getting to know y'all through the things that we talk about, and I feel like that is, even though this is supposed to be something that rubbed you the wrong way, we did have some stuff that happened on our previous platforms, but I feel like on this one we are able to manage things even if something does happen in a way that it doesn't interfere with the like connection that we have, the bonds that we have, or whatever. So that's how I feel about that.
I feel the same way. Nothing's really rubbed me the wrong way. Because I feel like we have kind of like a well-oiled machine. So if any issues do come up, we can resolve them rather quickly, and it's done.
Right.
And we nip that in the bud. So it's like,
let's keep it moving.
let's keep it moving. Let's keep this ball rolling, baby, because the show must go on.
Exactly. It's definitely gonna go on. Okay, for the Let's Fix It segment, what is a lesson you've learned from your co-host that you'll carry into the future with you? I feel like I could go first. I feel like, being around y'all and having these conversations on and off of the podcast, it kind of like solidifies like, okay, Boonie, because like I said earlier, I'm a loner. I like to do stuff alone. So I recently have came to the conclusion that that's not my calling. Being alone is not for me. I attract people. I'm able to bring people together, and it fits. It works out. Sometimes, even if it doesn't work out, we're still able to, whatever we have left, we're still able to pull that together and still have a great conversation, which is, excuse me, what's really important to me. So I love the fact that I have people, like, I fit in a space, even though it was curated by me. That's nothing is wrong with that. Like, that's really what I wanted to do. But I feel like y'all show me that you're supposed to be amongst people. You're supposed to be friends with whoever you attract to you or whatever. And it's for a reason. Maybe that's my purpose or whatever. But I feel like y'all have shown me that I'm not supposed to be a loner. Like, you're weird. You may not always fit into every group, but there's always going to be a space for you, as long as you're able to attract people and cultivate environments that are healthy and that are effective, because I don't want to just have conversations just to talk.
Right.
A lesson for me that I've learned is to be trusting of somebody. That is one, because I feel like I could trust. I don't feel like there's anything that's said here that somebody's going to use to, I'm gonna just, this is a knife and I'm gonna use this to stab you.
Yeah.
Because I've shared some real personal stuff here.
Right.
You ain't the only one, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. And also trusting as far as having like you as a co-host. Like we come through for each other every single time. It was not like
Right.
it's not like my previous situation was, where I'm carrying the brunt of the load. I'm doing the editing,
Same.
thumbnails, all of that, and it's just like after a while that really gets to be a lot of work. Like people don't understand what it takes to do a weekly podcast, not just the clips, to get everything together. And I feel like if either one of us are short that day, we got each other.
Right.
You
Yeah, we
not showing up.
compliment each other. We compliment each other. You pick up where I lack, and vice versa.
So we know it's still gonna go on. It's still gonna be good too. So
Right. Which is amazing.
thanks.
What about you, Bert?
Honestly, taking risk. So, like, because of the whole, I know with just how my TikTok has been blowing up recently. Like, when I first started about a year ago, I only had 25 followers when I was like first finding myself, and then just like continuously going at it, and then just constantly growing, and then getting more followers and people and groups and everything, and then just being asked to join like different groups. Although I didn't really know much about it, I didn't know what type of questions would come up, what scripts would come up, or anything like that. I just knew a couple of people, and I was like, you know what, Boonie's all right. You know what, Royal seems pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, sure. I'll jump on their show, see what happens. And you get in there and you find that a bunch of people are like you in some way, shape, or form. And you're able to have a conversation in 5 hours, literally seems like an hour and 30 minutes. And you're like, all right, cool. I know what I'm doing on Saturday nights. I'm not drinking all the time. I'm just going to hang out with some cool people that, it seems like if we were all back in Kansas when we were younger, you would be my people.
Yeah.
Period. Yeah.
You definitely would.
I 100% feel the same way. If we would have met in high school or whatever, but like,
Yo,
bro, y'all some
every
cool
fucking
people.
weekend.
We would be untouchable in high school. Could you
Yeah.
imagine?
Yeah. It's like, 1 minute we might all be in different groups in school or something like that. And then it's like all of a sudden, yo, Royal Raps in like the fucking cafeteria or whatever. Herb's creepy as fuck. He's going to go over there and scream. Oh, that nigga can rap too. Oh, shit. And it's like, yo, you gonna watch Dragon Ball Z on Toonami on Saturday night? Yeah, you want to watch it at my house or whatever?
And I'll be
We
there
can get Pizza Hut and call it good.
I'll be there hate watching, like, this is trash, but I guess
Yo.
I like y'all, so I'm gonna
Don't worry, Gundam Wing comes on after that. Tenchi Muyo after that. We'll find
you'll
something
be
you
fine.
like
You'll
too.
be fine. It's cool. It's cool. Just wait.
But we gotta see some grown ass blonde haired men for like 2 hours.
Screaming for 2 hours.
Entire episode.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Weeks for them to transform into one character.
We would be hilarious if we met when we were younger. I
Oh my
swear.
god.
The weird kids would be popular, I feel.
Facts.
I mean, I was already like that back in high school.
Even though I don't like to admit it, like, I still don't feel like I was popular in high school, but some people might feel otherwise.
Oh no, I had all the little girls follow me around back in high school and stuff.
That
Say the
seems
same
to
thing.
be your theme.
For real.
You as well, William.
Yeah, I was about to
Yeah.
say the same thing.
Ladies' men. Okay. I ain't gonna act like I didn't have people following by me in high school. Still from high school.
Yeah, no, it was always crazy because like you'd be in the or you'd be in like the freaking. They had like this big old garden like in the middle of the school. It literally seemed like from the outside looking in, because I knew a couple of the teachers. I still talk to some of my high school teachers to this day. They literally thought I was a cult leader.
Of course you was a teacher's pet. I could see it.
I mean,
Game recognizing game because I was as well.
I cannot confirm or deny, but there was a favor that was done for one of my psychology teachers back in my military days when he wanted to go to OCS, and I wrote his little officer candidate letter. Yeah, because I mean he was my favorite teacher, and he had my little sister in his class who is a whole different personality than me, and like literally he's like, oh, you're Bert's sister. She's like, shut the fuck up, I hate you already. Because you sat by him during graduation. I know you two still talk, right? Homeboy, he's from a small town in Kansas, so like I guess his first introduction to black people was Malcolm X, and he clicked with Malcolm X, and so this was weird. Like I met blonde-haired, blue-eyed white boy, psychology major back in high school who was fond of Malcolm X. I'm like, you are a weird motherfucker, but I fucking love you, and we clicked ever since. And Dan, yeah, like he said, literally, I met your sister. I quit that same fucking day. How the two from the same mold? I don't know. I was like, Dan, what you doing now? I work at the liquor store.
Your sister made him quit.
Nigga, you work at the liquor store. I get discounts on booze now.
That's hilarious.
Wow.
And then, like, when I was still in Japan, he called me up one night and he's like, hey, man, so I want to go in the army. What? Yeah, OCS. What? Can you write me a letter?
Oh, you was out here inspiring the teachers.
Yeah, I was
that. I like that.
I was like, Dan, I'm a sergeant. What's that gonna look like? I was like, fuck it, let's do this.
Switching positions.
Yeah.
You're the teacher, he becomes the student.
I have his silver dollar he handed me when he gave me. I was the first enlisted person he gave a salute to. So, military custom is the NCO that inspired you or raised you like a little baby. When you become an officer, the NCO gives you that first salute, right? That's our duty, because it's like, congratulations, you made me proud. Me, young sergeant, back from the fucking desert, literally get home to get my dress blues, fly to fucking bumfuck nowhere just to salute this motherfucker.
That's
and then he hands me a silver dollar, and I'm like, oh, this is good. Like, for real? Put it in your pocket.
The moment that made you cry, huh?
Yeah, I was like, I could fucking
Right.
hug you.
Now put
In the
it in your
field.
pocket.
Oh yeah, you put it in your pocket. You just do a quick slip, and then afterwards, I literally gave the guy a hug, and everybody's like, "You got an Air Force sergeant to fly out here and give you a fucking hug."
That's dope. You changed his life, Bert.
Yeah, I did. Love him.
It's amazing.
Love him.
Okay.
That was so off subject, though.
No, you good. You good. Otherwise, we would have a 30-minute.
Right. Right. I was just thinking about that. What about you, William?
So
Shit.
for me, it's been a lot of things I've learned, but one of those things is that we all would have been best friends in high school. Like, definitely. I already know.
100%.
Like,
100%.
and another thing that I've learned that it's cool to be straightforward. Like, because I always felt like I was a little too straightforward sometimes. But being on
Till
this
you met me.
podcast, I've learned, that that's not too bad. Like, sometimes it could be a good thing.
Until you met me and you like, oh, okay.
Right.
I'm good. I'm in good company.
Mm-hmm. Like, all of y'all, like, have made me feel like we should have known each other a long time before we did.
Facts.
I definitely feel like we met when we were supposed to though, but like if we did, it would be crazy. I feel like we would be like if we met a long time ago, because I could see the future with us, and I could see us doing so many amazing things together.
Right.
So like we would have been at the level that we wanted to be at if we met a long time ago. But like we met when we were supposed to, and we gonna take off still.
Right. Exactly.
I see the vision of us running this industry in different sections too.
Yes.
They'd be like, oh, they know each other and they're cool. Like, yeah, bitch.
Yeah.
What y'all
Exactly.
thought?
Surprise! We were all part of the same fucking think tank.
This has been a plan, like Wu-Tang. We was
Exactly.
meant to take over the game.
Ain't nothing to fuck with.
Exactly. Yeah.
Ooh, that's gonna be dope when we get in spaces, especially when we start doing like movies and stuff like we start doing films and stuff like that. It's gonna be dope.
Mhm.
When we get our own studio, it's gonna be amazing.
Right.
But moving on to the next segment, which is the story time segment. Do any of you have a story of a time the podcast has made you view life differently? Go
The
ahead.
trauma episode.
Mm.
So, Royal had an author come on there who had a very, 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 very difficult upbringing. And, stories like that always hit right here. But it was on an episode where Boonie wasn't on, and we didn't have any females on there. It was just me, Curator, and Royal. And the fact that all three of us were able to just show our vulnerability and speak on our stories and everything, it was a bonding experience for us, and it also de-escalated like any fears or any doubts that author could have had possibly coming on there with like no women whatsoever.
I'm proud of y'all for that.
Yeah. And she had spoke about it too in just a second, like when she saw it, and then like immediately you could tell like, okay, like walls down, I'm good, I'm safe here.
Yeah.
I'm proud of y'all for that, because that is hard for a woman to be in a space with a lot of men or whatever, and to be vulnerable and feel like her vulnerability is safe. Because I have had experiences where I have tried to talk to men about my trauma, and the way that it's received is it's crazy. So to be amongst y'all, because I'm used to being around guys because I have all brothers. Like I'm the only girl. I have 3 brothers. I have 6 uncles who I was around almost every day. So I'm used to being around men, but my experiences in different settings were different, of course, because not all of y'all are the same. But being able to sit on a cast with mostly men, because this dynamic was so different. Of a few months ago, it was mostly women, and then it was just Royal. But being able to sit here and then to be able to talk about different things, and for y'all to receive it the way that y'all do, and for y'all to not just receive it, but for you to have empathy. I feel like that's a thing that I felt like uh over the course of my life with some men was missing. It was like a lot of the times men try to separate your trauma from you. So you come with your trauma. You come with things that a lot of times they don't feel uncomfortable touching. Like, I don't really know nothing about that. I never been through that. I don't know how to talk to you about that. So you really either you get no response or you get an ignorant response. And it's hard. So a lot of times women, we won't talk about a lot of stuff around y'all. But I'm proud of y'all, because I feel like she was still able to open up and she was still able to talk. And y'all held it down, just like how y'all do when I'm here. And it makes me feel good that I picked a group of men that were able to make someone who has been through the things that she's been through feel comfortable enough to still share. So I show gratitude to y'all for that as well. I don't think I got to say that on the podcast.
Appreciate it. Aziza's story was powerful, and that's the whole reason why I invited her. And I'm actually probably going to try to invite her back to do an interview with her. I've seen a couple interviews with her, and I know that my style is a lot different than other people's. So I'm going to get something out of her that other people won't.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they want the salacious, you know, your daddy did what type of thing. You know, she's a person.
She's a person,
Yeah.
exactly.
The person first. And I think that's what people have to realize with these people that went through traumatic experiences. You are a person first. Just realize the person. That's where the empathy comes in. You're still a person, no matter what they went through.
And that was one other thing about that episode that I really did appreciate about your style for interviewing Royal. You didn't play like onto the whole victim aspect of it. You wanted her to show what she overcame. And I'm sure she appreciated that as well, because like it showed that she's more than just a victim, or she's more than just whatever happened to her.
Right.
We got to see the spiritual side of her. We got to see so many different aspects to her. You know, her as a mom, just everything. You're like, wow, okay. I mean, this is like a normal episode for us, basically. Yeah, it started off with tragedy, but we got past that, and it did. Yeah, as much as it was for everybody at that point, because I know it was taxing on everyone just saying everything that they've gone through. It was still a solid episode.
It was very strategic on my part, because I knew that like this can't be that heavy, like because because we are gonna have an episode coming up soon talking about sexual assault, where honestly that one is, I don't think we're gonna lighten the mood on that one. I don't think we need to. That one we gonna have to, you have to sit with that. You gonna have to sit. I want that to be that feeling with that one, but that one I was like, okay, we can, you know, lighten the mood.
I tried it,
and some of these things you need to sit with that. And afterwards, I want you to be thinking, what did I just watch? What did I just hear? Damn, this shit is real, you know. But with that one, I was like, okay, we got to see the side of her where she started being petty, and it was hilarious.
Oh yeah,
yeah, because
she fit in with all of us talking about a racist baby and shit.
You talk about. Yeah, when you talk about trauma on any platform, you have to know how to put a cap on it. So it's what I want the podcast to be. We are able to talk about topics like this, but at the same time, both me and Royal, we approach them differently, because we want to get to the meat of things, and also we want people to be able to heal on this platform. Like you are able to share something, but also you're able to get something to help you to deal with whatever issue it is that you share it with us. And I feel like that in time, that format will be more appreciated than what we see with podcasts now, because I feel like now it's just entertaining. People talking about the wildest things, and who can say the wildest things, and who can talk about the wildest things and get people to watch.
Now, mind you, we have had a couple episodes like that as well.
Yeah. We can go there too.
Yeah,
we definitely can. We have so many different sides of us. which is why I love this cast. Period. But
wait, who? Bert did the story time first, right?
mhm.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, you gonna go next, Boonie?
No, somebody else can go.
All right, so the episode that we did when we were talking about, I believe somebody said, what would we do in a situation where one of us where we're all kidnapped or something?
Oh
How would we
yeah,
get out of it? That was
Yeah.
that
yeah.
episode right there, man. It was like one of the most fun episodes that I've ever been a part of, because seeing like the different scenarios and how a lot of us were like, some of us were like, we ain't saying nothing. We just gonna, we just gonna let it go down. But then other ones were picking who they would save and who they wouldn't. Like
I like
it's
when we
just,
participate like that. Say
yeah.
something.
I swear to God, if you guys don't pick me, I'm haunting you from the fucking grave. Point blank, period. You're gonna be on the fucking toilet and I'll be like, damn!
You gonna be like that pig on JoJo's Bizarre Adventures when Pony went to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
That pig came out of the toilet.
You'll be like, what the fuck?
Bro, that episode was so hilarious to me.
The episode was hilarious. I like stuff like that because it kind of like shows like how people think. It kind of like tests you morally. Like that's the reason for me picking the game. But at the same time, not in a way where we judge each other. Because even though this is what we think and we choosing these things or whatever, we don't judge you because you're a human at the end of the day. I don't fault y'all for any decision that y'all would make in those situations because those are crazy situations.
It kind of felt similar to the Hunter x Hunter pre-exam before they went in. There is no right answer to this.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
There is no right answer. You shouldn't be forced to put in a position where you have to choose somebody. You know.
Right.
Right.
That's true. But if you make a choice, I get it. I understand. Like we don't look at each other different because of the stuff that we've said. So I like that we're able to do that with this group of people because I feel like you won't get that with a lot of people. Like they'll be hung up, oh, you would snitch on me? Now I don't trust you. In real life, I don't trust you. You would
But the
snitch.
reason why nobody got hung up was because we all have similar personalities.
We
Like
do.
we have a lot in common.
Yeah, we do. Definitely the similar personalities because y'all are sick and twisted just like I am.
You damn right.
And I love every minute of it.
For my story time, it was the episode. I think was it. I know Van was on that cast, and it was something that Van said about.
Oh, it was with me, you, and her.
Was that the episode where we talked about the trans people and how?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and how she said there was. If you notice, there's never any issues with trans men, but it's always with trans women. And it said it's that male privilege coming out. Like and it was just like, you know what, you are right.
Right, like
It feels like the trans men community just kind of come in and sit down and
yeah.
We niggas now, okay, we cool.
And the trans women are like, I need you to do this, that, this, that for me to feel comfortable.
Right.
Like move out the way, change how you feel about this, change how you feel about that. And I get it, but at the same time, we can all fit into spaces without us having, because I feel like women always got to change something about themselves for people to feel comfortable, and that shouldn't be.
Right. So it's a sense of entitlement that a lot of men have, and honestly, they've had that. A lot of people had that their whole lives, and so just because they're transitioning, they're not able to get rid of it,
Right?
And they bring that in, and I'm not saying that everybody is like that,
right? Because it's not.
It's. I always say it's the vocal minority that's causing this issue, but these vocal minority are all screaming in unison. Look at me! I want to be special. It's just like, okay, everybody's special. No, I'm special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that you're special, but I'm special over you.
Right.
Tone your special down so I can be more special.
Right.
Mhm.
Like nobody's telling y'all that y'all don't have the right to exist. You do. You can exist in the space too, but I can exist in this space too. We both can exist in this space, and we can be cool with each other. We don't gotta have no beef.
Period.
Why you up in here starting stuff? Like,
right. Come and sit down and
come and sit. That's the only thing. Come sit down and don't be quiet. Just chill out. You cool over there. And I think we have that kind of environment too. It don't matter who you are or whatever. You could come in here and chill with us. We had a freaking snake girl in one of our lives that had snakes and all kind of animals. And we was amazing. Like, she was great. Like, oh, snaps. That's a big ass snake.
I'm still mad I left too early and I didn't get
to see you didn't get to see the snakes. I think
that was before me. I can tell you
missed
that.
It. You was Bert on it? It was one of your followers.
Which one was it?
What's the name? Serpent something 666.
Oh yeah, that's one of mine.
Yeah, one of your followers.
And she came on the live with us and had a big old snake and everything. I was like, that's so freaking cool.
She was showing us her snakes. Amazing. You know, we've had some topic, like we had somebody on our lives, like the first time we've ever seen a black person that we kind of see not racist but close.
Oh yeah.
He was
kind of Uncle Ruckus like.
Not even Uncle Ruckus like
it was the actual opposite of Uncle Ruckus. That nigga was a black supremacist.
Yeah, that nigga. That's exactly what it was.
That was an Uncle Rufus, not an Uncle Ruckus.
That's an Uncle Rufus.
Uncle Rufus. He was tired.
And real time was just like, well, and me and
like, what is happening? Like,
whoa,
what's happening?
Whoa!
Wow.
You just went there.
It was Curator was on that. I will say this: Curator was able to handle himself on that live whenever he was coming at him, because I was so confused. I was like, what is he doing? Like, why is he doing this? Is he
disrespecting him?
Like, we're pro-black. We talk about issues that affect us, but we're not racist. Even though we'll say it sometimes, like, I'm racist, I don't like white people. We really, in our heart, are not racist. we are just pro-black, which doesn't mean that we're anti-white.
That's a big difference. Being pro-black does not mean you have to be anti-white. I think that's the big difference for people that are white power. It's they're anti-black. Like you could be pro whatever the way you grew up.
It's built on anti-blackness.
Anti-blackness. But it can. We just pro everything black. We want to see black people win.
Exactly.
Get the same opportunities as everybody else.
Exactly. But for me, I'll say the first episode, because that was the first out of our episodes together. So which was the game night. Because I wanted to come back and I wanted it to be fun. I didn't want to come back with a heavy topic. And I kind of wanted to kind of get the personalities, because we had invited new people. We merged. We invited William. We had Curator on. I think Bert, you missed that one. But it was a good bit of us on here.
Episode 1 and 2, I was not involved. You brought me in episode 3.
Episode 3, yeah.
Yeah.
But that episode was my favorite because, we brought new people, new personalities in, and we played games, and we got to see how we kind of like got along or whatever on the episode, and kind of how we thought, like William said, we all have those sick, twisted minds. And so when we were playing the game and we were talking about, who we saw as a snitch, who we think would do this, who we think would do that, nobody got mad, because it's like, yeah, you're right, I would do that. I just want y'all to know that, yeah, 100%, I would expect that. But at the end of the day, I do kind of feel like if we were ever in situations like that, we would definitely work to help each other out. We wouldn't try to pick nobody to get released. We wouldn't try to get rid of somebody. I feel like we would work together, and I feel like we would flip the game on whoever it is. We would literally mess with them psychologically, physically too, if we got.
So y'all to kidnap all of us. No, it's all of us against you.
Exactly.
I'm gonna let one of you free. So what we about to do?
Yeah, I feel like we would come together and we would get out of those situations. But I just like that we're able to have heavy conversations and we're able to have lighthearted conversations where we still are getting to know each other or whatever. We're not taking offense to a lot of the things that we say. We hear each other out or whatever. So that moment was one of those for me because it was the start of this platform. We brought people together. I just like bringing people together and it working out. I love when it work out because, like Roya said at the beginning, we have been through a lot of people, and I don't have anything against any of the people that I started with. I enjoyed them when they were on. We had some back and forths and stuff like that too, but there was no hard feelings or whatever. I don't feel no type of way about them not being on. I just feel like we have found uh we have found our tribe, basically, regardless of whether all of us are able to do an episode every single time we come on here. It's cool, but I feel like we found our tribe, and whenever we feel like we want to invite somebody else in to maybe not be a part of the cast but to be a guest, it's cool, and we're able to still have fun, have a good time. That's what it's about. As well as healing. So I really like every moment that I spent with y'all. I did miss a little bit because I was sick and I had other stuff going on, but I feel like y'all held it down. I enjoyed watching some of the episodes that I had to edit. See of y'all. And that's another thing too about being a podcaster, being behind the scenes and having to watch these episodes over and over again. So you're able to see the things that don't work, the problems, the good points. You get to see them over and over again. But I love it. I wouldn't change this group of people for the world, even though we're in the middle of, not the best situation. I still wouldn't change y'all for the world.
I I feel the same way about some of the old people too. I don't got no hard feelings. And shout out to my old co-host at the Raw Educated Analysis of Life podcast, Lady Bay. Like it was it was it was a season, And I don't think she's a bad person. It's just, sometimes life go like this, like we got two different visions, but I'm like, I don't want to see you lose though. I want to see you like fail. Like
it also teaches you that everybody ain't supposed to go with you. And that's not a bad thing. It's not like saying I'm elevating and I'm leaving you behind, but like we just got two different paths that we have to go on, and that's fine. And I feel like being adults when it comes to like doing business and like having friendships in the midst of those businesses is hard.
Right.
You lose sometimes when you're doing business with your friends, you end up losing them. That's something that you have to take into consideration for whatever reason, whatever might happen or whatever, but you still have to get through those situations. You still have to do it professionally as well. Like one thing I try to do is be professional. I always tell y'all that I'm a work in progress. I'm the nicest person that you can meet, but at the same time, you rub me the wrong way, you're gonna see a different side of me. But I feel like doing this, I have been able to be a little bit more reserved because like we were talking about before we started this, I am confrontational, and that don't mean that like argumentative or like I'm always starting problems or whatever. But if you present a problem to me, we're going to talk about it. I'm not gonna gloss over anything. You do something, we're gonna discuss it, and we're gonna decide where we go from there. I'm not leaving nothing up in the air. That's just the type of person that I am. But I feel like there is a time and a place for all of those things, and that's something that I've been learning.
The growth is real, and also transitioning away from somebody or growing apart doesn't mean that there have to be issues with somebody, because anybody that is like, if there's people that we go in different directions or whatever, I could see myself running into them. Hey, what's good? How you doing?
Right.
How you been? Like we ain't gotta have beef. I think that's the thing in society where a lot of people, some people.
Because some people that I run into, I would be like, Who are you?
I'm gonna walk the other way and not talk.
Like, who are you?
But most people, I could shake your hand. How you doing? Been good. All right. And I don't mean that we got to rekindle anything that was there. We ain't got to open up the door again. But
just not gonna be haters to each other. I'm never gonna be a hater to nobody, but I'm going to treat you accordingly. If I feel like you did something that you can't come back from, that's just that. If I feel like I can work through something with you, whether I need time or we need a conversation, that's that. But there's no hard feelings either way. But don't expect, if you did something wrong to me and I didn't do nothing to you to deserve it, don't expect for me to be cool with you when you see me. That's not realistic.
Yeah.
The issue has to be resolved first before you can even go there. And think people say, "Oh, time heals all wounds." No, the fuck
no, it don't.
No, it don't.
No. Not all conflict is the same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is important.
You left a really bad taste in my mouth. It's still there when I see you.
Some shit needs to be addressed and fixed.
Yeah.
Never no hate, but also I'm not gonna tolerate no disrespect or allow somebody that did something crazy to come back into my life. I don't operate like that.
Yeah. And then that's the other thing about life in general. It's all about learning how to manage personalities. Like the way that you speak with one person or one group is not some way that you can speak with everybody.
True.
And so like when you're on a platform like this and you're invited on as a guest, generally like your first couple of episodes, you're getting to learn everybody and how you fit into the machine. Especially if you're going to be a continued member on here. It's like, so for instance, I know I came on at like episode 3. Shame on me. Like I wanted to go back and look at the first 2 episodes and get some type of continuity, do some homework on you and Royal's previous podcast and everything. But just because of the work day, I was like, dude, I just did a 12-hour shift. Fuck it, I'm going to go in blind. This can either go one or 2 ways. One way, I'm not going to match it with anybody and I'm going to get fucking crucified. Or the other way, it's just going to work. And thank goodness
unless you get crucified, Bert. I like you.
I like you too. I'm just glad it worked out.
Yes. Yeah. I knew it was though. I knew it was going to work out because you're a dope person. I feel like you could get along with anybody.
There's been a few in life I have not. But like it's few and far in between. Normally they're a little fucked up somehow. But like literally I was going through my old playlist and everything and like Brother Lynch Hung, I don't think My Mama Ever Loved Me came up. And I don't know if any of you are like Lynch listeners or anything like that. If not, I'll send you the music or whatever. I think I sent you some of his stuff before, Boonie.
Probably did.
Yeah, it was on the horrorcore side, but he's got some dope shit. But like, there was a line on there where he was talking about like, he was originally like one of the OG Crips. He switched over to working with Tech Nine's record label. Tech Nine is known to be a blood back in the day and all that. And of course, he's the only blue flag wearing guy up in that booth. So he was like literally like, I don't know about this, but he was dropping like dope shit after dope shit.
Yeah, that's
good.
What's funny is when I first met you on Boonie's live, well, it was both of our lives or whatever, but you came on live, we started talking about like different metal stuff, and then it was funny because after the live was over, Boonie messaged me and I said, "I see y'all have a little bromance going."
And we are literally on Instagram messaging every day.
I was sitting there like,
hell, I even put you in my story. I'm like, big bro, right there. One of many.
That was dope.
Yeah, I like when connections when they match and it's amazing.
Yeah, because like when I met you through Boonie, I was like, you know what? He's cool. He's definitely cool.
Yeah.
I see you do an open verse thing. I'm like, you know what? I'm feeling kind of rappish today. Let me show you. Let me show you more of my melanin. This ain't for looks now.
my thought process when I be like seeing that, I'd be like, okay, where you gonna take it at? Because I know our styles are very different. That's all. Like, oh, I can't wait for us to do a track together. The contrast, the styles will be so.
I know, right? And it was funny because, like, I think the first time you did a video, and I was still in metal mode. I was like, all right, I gotta get back into rap mode for this. So I sat on it for a few days, right? I'm sitting in the car, I'm doing freestyle shit. I'm in the shower, I'm rapping. I'm like, all right, my dog's looking at me all crazy. He's
All right.
like, Dad's trying to channel his inner blackness. Okay. Let him cook. Turtle's looking at me like, what is wrong with him? Yeah. He got rid of the Ouija board. He decided to put on a chain again.
Oh, you pick that Ouija board back up. We might need it later.
I'm sure I'll have to channel whatever it is for. Yeah, with Royal, I think like either way, when we start working on stuff, it's gonna be a mix between a couple of different things.
Oh yeah.
Because I know like a few of them, I'm just gonna rap on. A couple of them, I'm just gonna do like the whole metal thing with or whatever. Yeah, I could definitely see that.
I have a feeling it's gonna turn into like a whole project.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, it's gonna be like, oh, we just 1-2 songs. Wait, I got this other idea. Hold on.
Nigga, we need to do the mixtape. We got 13 tracks.
And I can't wait to see all of it and hear all of it. It's gonna be dope.
Yeah. Right. It's gonna be a trilogy now.
Maybe I'll grace a little, sprinkle a little bit.
Oh hell yeah.
Poetic on there.
Yeah. Do like a Royal Genius mix. Have everybody on the cast do something on it.
That would be so.
It would be like a sampler,
Yeah, that would be fun.
Oh yeah.
I actually been thinking about that though. A compilation album with all of us.
That would be so dope.
It's like, all right, so we know like
William can sing and all that.
Yeah.
And I got bars too. Y'all ain't heard
Okay.
Oh, really? Bro, do I need to start sending you stuff? I got producers sending me their TikTok shit now.
All right, send me
You gotta start back sending me stuff too, because I need to get in on this.
Okay. Yeah, there's one guy that's like, he's sending me some stuff through my Gmail sometime this week, but he was like, I love what you do. I need to see some of your rap stuff on my stuff. I started looking at like some of his videos already and saw whack rappers on there. I'm like, oh shit, I need to start sending this to people so we can actually up his game a little bit. This is a playground.
Since it's in the air, and y'all hearing it here first, it's exclusive.
Yeah.
RGE compilation album coming in the future.
Hell yeah.
You're gonna be dope. Like I can see so many things for us. It's crazy.
Yeah. You'll definitely find something you like.
For sure. Moving on to the wealthy health segment. What are some sources you've gotten from your co-hosts on or off the podcast that you've implemented into your life? Well, first, I'm just going to say, like, the music, a lot of the music that Bert has sent me. And also, me and Royal share a lot of music and stuff like that. I feel like we have that thing where we share music with each other and stuff like that. Stuff that I listen to, y'all make me remember when I used to listen to this person or that person. I go back and revisit a lot of things. But I feel like that, also, I have things in the vote, like that y'all put in my mind. Like, for instance, like I said, the music, doing music with y'all, the voice acting is something that I want to get into. And I've been inspired. I save videos, I save stuff, and I'm like, one of these days when I'm not, because I'll be doing a million things, I'm gonna have time to do this, and I'm gonna immerse myself into it the same way. But I feel like y'all have, even if it's not like things that I've gotten that I implement, it's like y'all put things in my mind, like, ooh, you could do this, ooh, you should do that, ooh, they talking about doing this, you should think about hopping on that or whatever. I feel like y'all just be sparking the creativity a lot more within me. So I appreciate that.
For me, y'all are the resources. Y'all are my resources. Like,
that's true.
Y'all are outlets. Y'all are. Boonie sent me the meditation thing earlier this year that I use pretty much every day. William, you inspired me to start doing the wrestling content because I've been wanting to do it for a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I got somebody that's just as big a fan as me.
I think William got you though.
He might.
William is die hard.
He might.
I got AEW playing in front of me right now.
Oh yeah.
I'm not missing my match.
and with Bert, like not just the music, but also a life resource was talking to y'all that night, which caused me to shoot a shot that I was not gonna take.
There you go.
I was not going to take that shot at all. I was just like, I'm not sure if she's feeling me. Yeah.
Crazy.
And I'm like, do it. Progress report in a few days, sir.
Exactly.
I was like, I shot it and I didn't miss, y'all. I didn't miss.
And I knew it that was gonna happen. You just had to believe that it was gonna happen.
Right.
Like you got natural riz, bro. You just gotta learn how to tap into your potential. If I have to, I will throw your ass in the hyperbolic time chamber.
You must practice the riz.
You have 3 days and it will feel like a year. Come out with dreadlocks again and everything.
What's up? I'm ready. Are you really ready? I'm ready.
Go ahead, sir.
LL Cool J lick lip thing. A whole new Royal.
Gonna be like,
come out the chamber with one pant leg up and everything.
This is ready. This isn't even his final form. For me, I gotta say, each and every one of you have that I've talked to, because there's a few members on the cast, like I've just added you on to Instagram or TikTok, so I know of your business. I just haven't reached out to you like 100% yet, just because I'm not there yet. Constant work, busyness, and all. But like I appreciate and adore everything that you guys do. I'm able to pull inspiration from Poetic. I'm able to pull inspiration from Royal, Rambo. I see that me and you have similar interests on Instagram. Like I see you pop up on things I like. I'm like, I know him. Okay, we're on the same wavelength.
That nigga be in the streets.
That's one of the best things, to see a post and to see that y'all like the same post that I like. I'm like, yeah.
William be on it, bro. He be on everything. I'm like, I see you.
Yeah, I'm like, I see you. I see you. I'm like, we got the same interest. Bad. And then like some of our cast members on here that aren't on this video right now, they tag me in their videos on TikTok. And I'm like, okay, cool. So, I may save them. I may have like an idea to do a duet or whatever when I'm in filmmaking video editing mode. Because sometimes y'all know I have a collection of masks I put on and all that. But it's like when you're trying to introduce a character into a story, you're like, I don't know if that's going to really work for that one. Might have to wait till I decide to do something with another one, that kind of thing. But yeah, it's a great think tank. Like everybody here is talented in their own way, and it's a great way to pull experience.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, William?
Yeah, so for me, it's all about y'all's creativity. Like Boonie with the poems, like every time I see one of those, it's like, this is fire. Like I just like to listen to them. And of course, show love. And then with Bert and with Royal, it's the bars, man. I be listening to them rap, and it's like, oh my god, y'all be making me want to get into it every time.
I'm definitely gonna send you some videos, bro.
I gotta get in on this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shock y'all one day. I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna just do one of the free bird challenges and let y'all happen to,
Do you know how hype we gonna be?
I know. It's like, whoa, she's throwing down.
I'm probably gonna lose my shit like she probably did
it. That's gonna be hilarious.
I'm gonna put that bitch up in my story. Be like, here's the video I've been waiting for.
We made a long ass time for this. Here it is.
My girl fucking did it and murdered this other bitch on here who just did the chorus. It could be a man or a woman. I don't care.
This her song now.
Yeah.
It's definitely gonna come. I'm just sneaking up on y'all.
Oh, my girl. She needs to own that one.
That's gonna be hilarious for sure.
Yeah.
But did you have anything else to add, Roy?
No, not for that segment. No.
Okay, cool. William?
Rambo, I'm waiting for you to own some shit too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming. Trust me.
All right.
Send me some stuff.
Hell yeah.
I might start sending some stuff too, bro.
Yeah.
I want to
We're
see.
gonna see
Now that I
what you
know-
respond to.
I want to hear those vocals for sure.
All right, well, I'm gonna have to do some stuff that like, cause I don't have like any individual stuff of myself. But as far as like other artists, like
Yeah, you can do
don't
some
get me
covers
started.
and stuff.
Like Chris Brown and shit like that.
Oh, we want to get you started.
I
Get
will
started.
go nuts.
Oh, so you're gonna be codename Panty Dropper in the group, aren't you?
Mm.
Okay.
The
Okay.
panty dropper.
Hey, we already know that William been making them girls drop them draws.
Oh, we
CPD up here.
We know how William got down back in the day.
All right. All right.
I got that Riz. I'm trying to tell you.
Shit. we gonna make him follow you.
Okay, moving on to the Black Life segment. This is the last question. Oh, I skipped the what would you do? Do y'all want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
What would you do is next. Moving to the what would you do segment. I have some questions from the advice columns pulled up. It was one that I saw that caught my eye. So the first one is, oops, just figured out I'm polyamorous, 18 months into a serious monogamous relationship with the father of my child.
Hold on. My neck couldn't crank that far.
I found myself in a really damn sticky situation. I'm polyamorous. I just recently told my partner we've been together for 18 months this June. We're engaged and we have a kid together. She says she's going to refer to her partner as Darren and their son as Ash, just to keep them anonymous. I love Darren and I love our son. Before they came along, I didn't know that kind of love was possible. I want to grow old with them, but I've recently figured out I'm polyamorous, and I told Darren, and he said, if you want to go out with other people, you do realize that we'd break up, right? And obviously, that's the last thing that I want. But I feel really strongly that if I don't explore my polyamory, I'm doing myself a disservice. I feel like some part of me is saying, you have to do this. If you don't, you're killing yourself. And there's this guy who I'll refer to as Fireball, who I like and who likes me. And I did our natal chart for compatibility, and we're basically made for each other. Unlike me and Darren's, which was 3 out of 4 negativity and challenge. My question really is, I feel like I need to do something about my polyamory. Like if I didn't, I feel like my soul is dying, but my partner isn't cool with it, and I have no idea what to do. So, helpful and unhelpful advice.
All right, so I couldn't wait to chime in on this. So I'm just gonna start with the unhelpful advice first, which is I think that she's bored with Darren. I really do. And like this polyamory thing is like to explore other options. So I think she should do it and see what she comes up with. That's my unhelpful advice.
What's your helpful advice?
Helpful advice, if she really loves this guy and their kid, like she says, don't do it. Don't explore that polyamory because it's going to ruin your relationship with Darren. Darren already told you that he basically ain't with it because he said, this means we break up if you do this. So she shouldn't do it. But, if she just can't help herself, go ahead and do it.
What about you, Bert?
I'll start with helpful. I'll be the voice of reason. Okay. And a little bit more optimistic.
Okay.
If you love your hubby, fiance, whatever he is, and you love your child, and you see yourself growing old with them, you have everything you need right there and then. You have your family established. It's okay for eyes to wander. It's okay to admire somebody for their beauty or something along those lines. But you've already committed yourself to a relationship, a monogamous one at that, long term.
Mm-hmm.
Your partner has said he don't like this idea, and you
Mhm.
should respect that if you respect and love him and his child. That's that. Now I'm gonna be petty on this last one. You put that fucking thing out there for everyone to see. You already fucking the boy. You just trying to get justification.
Yeah,
You're trying to make
yeah.
yourself feel better about the shit. You already sucking his dick now. We know this.
Name that nigga
Okay.
Fireball. Why you name him
Why
Fireball?
you gotta name him Fire? You know, Fire Claw's one of my names too.
Why you name him that?
Yeah.
You
Right.
got that fire,
And that
Yeah.
Fireball.
Yeah,
You put fire in there. I already know. There's passion. There's energy. There's
Yup.
this. There's that. That's like why that's my native name. Okay. I get it. You already tapping that, or he's already tapping you. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. That's what I got.
For my unhelpful advice, like Bert said, you already out there. You and Fireball already out there doing y'all thing. So you might as well just forget about your husband and your son and just do your thing. You want to be polyamory. He said he don't want it. Do what you want to do. You feel like, because I've been in situations where I felt like if I didn't do this, I'll die. I say this a lot. I say this as a person who, when it comes to something that in my soul I feel like I should be doing, if I don't do it, I'm literally going to die. In every way, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and maybe even physically. Like so I understand that feeling or feeling like I gotta do this. Cause I'm really passionate like that. So for me, it's either I do it or I die. It's very dramatic, but that's really how I
huh?
be feeling. But so I just feel like, girl, do your thing. Like Fireball sounds like a good time. Have a good time with him. Now, my helpful advice, I know that they told you should work your relationship out, but I feel like you have brought up some things that makes me feel like this person, Darren, isn't for you. You don't feel like he's for you. Y'all aren't compatible. And I feel like you're more so in love with the idea of having this family rather than being in love with him specifically. You're in love with the idea of being married to him and having this child with him and having this whole life with him rather than actually him. And we can see that you clearly you're not interested in him like that. You say that your compatibility is off, it's 3 out of 4 negative. So it seems like y'all aren't compatible. So I say break up with him and go explore your options.
Mhm.
Unhelpful for me is just go ahead and be a gangster and just do it. Just be a gangster and be about that life though. You go tell him what it is. Create your polyamory hierarchy and
Terms.
tell him what it is. You my man.
That nigga is a side.
You understand? Now play your position.
It's happily ever after with a side of fire dick. You named that nigga Fireball, so he's fire.
We already know if that's the name that she gave him, it's already done.
Oh yeah, he put it down. He put it down.
100%.
You got a draw at his house right now.
But honestly,
Every time they get into an argument, I'm going out with my girlfriends. No, you seeing Fireball.
Fireball, right? Yeah.
helpful, I would think that first of all, people think that they're polyamorous when they just want to have sex with many people.
Mhm.
Polyamory means many loves.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
there's certain if you're polyamorous, then you're able to have many loves without having sex with all of them. You can have sex. You can have 2 or 3 partners for sex, but you can have a whole bunch of people that this is my person for this. This is my person for that. This is my person for this. This, like it's not all about that, but you have to be willing to open up because it sounds like you just want to fuck. You gonna die if you don't get no dick.
So like Darren got whack Peter and you just want some fire.
Exactly.
You won't die, dick. She gonna take that dick.
I think
That's what she wants.
she just needed to admit to herself that I found out that I don't like my husband's penis.
Right.
You
Sex
don't
is
put it.
trash. And I will say this, women, whenever we are in a situation where it's like the sex is trash, and a lot of times women will be like, that's not important to me. Lies. It is important to you.
100%.
Because we're it's just as important to us as it is to men. Stop lying to yourself. Because you create these things in your head to justify how you feel. And there's no justification. You're not sexually compatible with him. Y'all don't have the chemistry, obviously, because you want to have sex with other people. And we're not shaming you for that. That's completely normal. You know, sometimes you get in situations and that's how it is. But do not try to, don't always try to put these labels on you to justify how you feel in the moment, because that could change too. Just because you want to have sex with other people right now don't mean that you're polyamorous. A lot of y'all can't even handle polyamory. Like y'all can't. Like you want monogamy, but you want people on the side. That's a different conversation. That's not polyamory. You can have an open relationship. You and your husband can have a joint person that y'all have sex with if y'all are not both heterosexual. Because if y'all are, ain't really no wiggle room right there. But you know, if somebody is open, you can open the door for him to be with somebody too, or like y'all to have somebody, or both of y'all to have another partner to have sex with, if that's something that they're okay with. But if he said he's not okay with that and he doesn't want to do that, you have to respect that. Don't do that behind that man's back. Don't try to justify it. Leave him alone if y'all can't agree on this.
There's something that I wanted to bring up with polyamory, because I thought I was at one point. I'm still on the fence. I don't know. I think I possibly can love multiple people, but I don't know how that would look.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's compersion. That's something that you have to be able to have. And compersion definition is happiness at the joy of one's partner in another relationship, sometimes referred to as the opposite of jealousy. That's something that you have to be able to have. Like, and most people are not willing to do that.
I can completely agree with that. I'm not willing to do that shit.
Right.
I know with me, polyamory and pansexual and all that, that never really crossed my mind as a person. Just because, like, for me to open up to somebody and to be in a relationship with somebody, it takes a lot of me. So,
Right.
for me to do that with multiple people and being an empath as well, constantly having to deal with the woes of everyone that I would get involved. Because, number one, I don't discriminate by color, shape, creed, nationality. I think all women are beautiful. Well, I mean, unless you're like a fucking, beluga whale or a Mack truck. I mean, I got a problem with that. A little bit of the thickness, I'm down with the thickness now, right?
Come on, get down with the thickness.
Yeah, we gonna change up the serve. But, like, having 20 different women that you're talking to at the same time, at the same level, or at least trying to get intimacy from everybody, realizing that they all have wants, needs, desires, and everything else, and dealing with the storms just as they're dealing with yours. That's a lot on one person. And to those that can do that and those that can be in relationships like that, I salute you. But for me, I can't do that. And I never will be able to. And then when I find my person, that is my person. I am like, mine. This one is gonna take every bit of my dick.
Which is totally okay. And I feel like a lot of problems with society is people, they want to put people in these boxes. People that are polyamorous, that's good for you. That is good for you, but that just doesn't work in my mind. And you can't change somebody who's not poly and try to make them poly. Because if you feel like this is your partner, this is everything, like it's the difference between being open and you just want to be open. That's the thing. You want to do everything and expect your partner to still be there and not do anything.
And this reminds me of an Ask Reddit column I read a long time ago, right? So there was a man and a woman, and the woman had some friends that were, in open relationships and polyamorous and all this other stuff at work. And she was looking at the leader of the pack, macho, masculine, good-looking model guy or something from her definition of the whole situation. She went home, told her husband that she was looking at doing this. He wasn't down with it whatsoever. She's like, well, I'm going to do it anyway, right? Our relationship is now open. And he's like, okay. He finds a sweet little lady, tells her about the situation. They click. And homegirl does her thing with the guy and realizes he's just lying. He's married to, a gal who's been taking care of 4 or 5 kids while he's out having his fun and not saying a single word to it and going through his rotation at work, building up this toxic culture on just falsehoods and everything. Gets caught, gets divorced. Girl's shocked because, oh my God, I fell in love with this man, but he was all on a sham. And then her boy leaves her for the girl he found when he was heartbroken and probably listening to sad Drake music and whatnot. And they click up and they get married and they completely monogamous. And homegirl is just left alone. So yeah, it can be like, I know it can be done for some people, but everybody has to be on board. Everyone has to understand it.
I think that's the biggest component to polyamory is the honesty. And a lot of people like the thrill of cheating on somebody, or oh, I'm not gonna get caught, or I'm with this chick with this time and I can go back.
Fun. That forbidden love is fun.
Right.
Yep.
But to actually see your partner doing something like that, you're not polyamorous. You're not.
No,
you don't want. You're not ready for that lifestyle because it entails a lot.
Really, you're a person. A lot of the times I feel like in those situations, a lot of times people do stuff like that to gain control in a relationship when they feel like they don't have one, where you're not satisfied in some way, and you voiced it to your partner and your partner isn't down with doing anything to change it. So you go out and you find something that you can be in control of. It's like, I'm in control of the situation. It's fun. I'm having sex. And you feel like I'm poly, like I want to date multiple people. This is how. No, you're being selfish. You're 100%. Not poly. You're being selfish. Instead of having an adult dealing with that situation in an adult way and saying, hey, because a lot of y'all will do stuff like this because y'all don't want to leave y'all situations, and I understand. Because we have this idea that when we get into serious relationships, it's end all be all. We have to stay with this person forever. There's no breaking up and stuff like that. And I feel like that's unrealistic. When you come to a situation where you and your partner isn't on one accord with something, whether it's sex, and sex is not a little thing. So that's number one. You need to stop making it seem like sex is nothing. I can do without it. That's not true. That's why a lot of y'all find yourselves in situations where y'all cheating. Because it's important to you. And instead of being like, well, this is important to me, but to my partner, maybe it's not. And there's nothing that they want to do to fix it. I've tried to fix it. They don't want to. You need to start looking at leaving that relationship. There's nothing wrong with leaving and finding another relationship, finding somebody that you're more compatible with. I think because y'all want to stay in y'all relationships and y'all have this idea of what marriage is supposed to be, or whatever your committed relationship is supposed to be, you stay in that situation and you end up hurting each other to the point that now y'all have to get a divorce or y'all have to split, and it's not mutual. It's not mutual, and it's a lot of drama,
and it's on really, really bad
it's
terms.
bad times, right? You're splitting with this person in the midst of drama. So y'all have a kid. Now this kid have to be in the middle of this when y'all could have just had an adult conversation and say, hey, we're not agreeing on this thing. Maybe we're not made for each other. Maybe we need to think about splitting up. If there's no other options, if you're monogamous and you don't want to allow your partner to have somebody else, what other option do you have?
It honestly starts with that conversation and telling your partner, I'm not happy.
Right.
And a lot of people are afraid of saying that because it means something else to, like it's not that hard to just say, if somebody really cares about you and loves you, I'm not happy. I'm not happy right now. And if that person's willing to do something else, like, I'm not saying that somebody has to change for you or anything like that. But if they say, hey, what can I do? then y'all can start having the conversation. But a lot of times you don't even give the person a chance to say
Right.
anything.
Just go and do whatever.
Just go and
because I feel like there's those boundaries, but I feel like y'all think that boundaries are things in place that you use to control people, when boundaries are just, I'm not okay with this, so I'm going to decide not to deal with it. Not, this is what I want, I'm not okay with it, so you're gonna do it. You're gonna do this because this is what I want. I'm not okay with this, so you're gonna stop doing this. It's, I'm not okay with you having another partner, so I'm going to decide not to deal with it. I'm taking myself out of this equation because that's my boundary.
I feel like the proper way to contextualize boundaries is to say, like, now, are you willing to abide by what I just said? I don't like this. Will you abide by this? No. Okay. Cool. Well, my boundary's not going to change.
It's not.
And you're not willing to abide by it. So what else are we gonna do here?
And if a person says no, don't sit in that situation thinking that they're gonna come around. They're not.
Yeah.
We've come to an impasse. It's over.
It's over. Y'all have to be okay with letting these relationships go, even if you feel like it's beautiful, you know, there's no problems. It's just this one thing. Sometimes that one thing is enough for you to ruin somebody's life. And y'all are very much okay with ruining somebody's life rather than walking away and letting that person find somebody who is cool with what they want. And that's, to me, is more messed up than breaking up.
100%.
And
I
also,
completely agree.
polyamory is not what y'all think. You don't get 5 women to do every single thing for you.
That's a dead giveaway in life, period. You can't get people to do what you want.
Exactly. Like y'all go into poly situations thinking, oh, I need more than one woman, but y'all expect them to be and do everything for you. You expect each one of them, and that's not the case. Like Royal said, you have some that you connect with only emotionally. You have some that you're able to, maybe you have a side of you that the other women just ain't with. You want to be able to let that side out. You have a woman that you can do that with. You have a few, because I don't feel like you should be having sex with every single person you're in a poly relationship with.
Right.
I don't feel like they're all there for sex. They're not different flavors for you to taste whenever you feel like it. They are people. You need to find what it is that attract you to these people, what you get from them, and that is the agreement that y'all made. Hey, this is what I get from you. I want to keep getting this from you.
I tell a lot of people that if you think that you're polyamorous and you're in a monogamous relationship, I want you to imagine your girl getting banged like you and a nigga doing stuff to her that you know that you can't do.
Yeah.
You gotta be okay with that.
There's that other door too, and there are also consequences. If you and your partner have an open relationship, pregnancy might be a thing. They might make a baby with somebody else. You have to have things into place to deal with situations like that. If somebody gets pregnant, what are we gonna do?
Right.
That's a serious thing to think about, but y'all just be wanting the thrill of having sex with multiple people. And I feel like if that's all you care about, be single. Be single. You don't need to drag nobody else along with you while you're doing that.
And not even just a pregnancy, you can get an STD added into a relationship from another person. One minute you think everything's Gucci, and then the next minute you got herpes. You're like, that ain't from me.
Exactly.
That was the thing.
Where'd you get that from?
That was the thing, right? Like, even in the dating world, you gotta look. Period. You gotta get tested. We are grown people.
Yeah.
Let's be smart.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what you got. You don't know what. Come on, man.
And it bugs me. Sex can be so easy. It can be so easy if people cared enough to have that respect to do that, to get tested. But somebody say get tested and y'all are shook. And to me, when I say I need you to get tested before I'm able to do certain things, that's my boundary. And you know what? Dating for the past couple of years, it's a lot of niggas who have not been able to do that, because it's like, you want me to do what? That's a lot. I'm not doing that.
That is a freaking prereq. It's very easy.
It is. You ain't even you not being in my space if you don't get tested. Because we're grown. Sex happens. I'm not having a oops moment with you. Oh my God, we were chilling. Now we're having sex. No. You're going to get tested because I know 9 times out of 10, the only reason why you're inviting me out is to have sex.
A lot of people don't realize how easy and how much for me. That's a turn on. We both got clean tests. Hey,
exactly.
I got that clean.
Fair game.
Let's go.
That my chart. You show me your my chart. You don't know what I would do to you in that moment. But no, y'all be fumbling because y'all don't want to get tested because y'all scared. And to me, if you freeze up like that and it's that's a lot, I'm automatically going to think that either you have a disease that you know you have and you don't want it to come out, or you think you got something and you don't want to know if you do or not.
100%.
Well, and then the other thing is too, if you think in either of those schools of thought, if you had something and it could be treated, why not find out what you have to clean it?
People don't think like that, Bert. You would think it was like, I want to know what I got so I can get treated and there won't be no more problems. They literally be terrified. And that goes to show too how many people you have sex with unprotected.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they be treating it like the Usher, the Diddy song that I don't want to know.
Mm-hmm.
If I got the herpes, keep it on the line.
You would probably know when you see like little welts forming up and everything and they itch and all, but getting the stuff to fix it, you're like, oh, well, that's not that big of a deal after all.
It's not, but people make it such a big deal because it's like, oh, that's a lot. It's a lot for me to want you to be healthy before I have sex with you.
Exactly.
I wish more men and women would think that way. That should just be an easy prereq. Let's go.
Easy.
Let's go to the clinic together and go get tested.
Exactly.
And I mean, like the other thing is too, like even if you come back with a bad test, if it's something that can be treated or whatever, most likely your partner's still gonna be okay with
They're
you.
gonna be cool. It's good because if you get tested and you find that you got something that's treatable, I'm gonna be like, okay, get it taken care of, and then we can move on.
Yeah,
exactly.
But then they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, I got this," and she just found out because I shared my test. She's gonna go to some other nigga.
Yeah, because I think that people be feeling like, oh, if the test come back that I got something, I'm a loser. Really? No, you're not, because you came back and you told me, hey, I got tested. This is what it is. It's treatable. Okay, take care of it.
Honesty counts for so much.
Exactly. And it's like even like there's one lady that I follow, I think on YouTube, and she's a far extreme case of it. Like she was diagnosed with AIDS or something like that. Took the medication, did whatever. She got it from her husband at the time because he was a hoe. Point blank period. And she treated it, and it finally became who is calling me?
Undetected.
Oh no, that was my charger. So like she got it treated. It's non-transmissible at this point because like her T cell level is at a certain point. She's been on the medication religiously for years. She was able to go on with her life. She got married again. Is having the time of her life and everything.
I think some people, it's because they're not educated about STDs and stuff like that. So it's like, if I have an STD, my life is over. And it's not, no, if you take care of yourself, you will be fine. And people will still date you. Y'all are crazy in y'all head to think that that's going to stop people from dating you. People date pedophiles. People date rapists. People date.
We don't want to hear all that, but it's true.
They're still going to date you.
There's somebody that will want you and be understanding about your situation. Just be honest with somebody and give them the choice. And people want to take people's choices away a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Right. Now, I will say this. If you have something that you can't get rid of, I'm not going to date you because I'm nasty and I don't want any barriers.
100%.
But
I don't want no limit. We can't go here.
Exactly.
We can play the minutes to a circle.
No barriers. I'm cool. I wanted to be able to do everything.
I'm trying to have a no holds bar match in that coochie.
Right?
Exactly.
I am the type of person that will make sure you ain't gonna forget me.
Yeah. It's not because I think you nasty, I'm judging you. It's because I know how I am sexually. You have barriers, boundaries that I don't want to be limited by. That's why I would choose not to date you. But next question. I share a bed with my stepbrother, and now we are falling in love.
Boom, chicka, boom, 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 boom.
I am a 17-year-old girl, and I like my stepbrother. My mom started seeing his dad a while ago, and we used to hang out all day. Then he would sleep in the same bed as me. We are the same age, and I know I can't feel this way because he's my stepbrother, but I can't help it. We sleep together every night and talk until 10 in the morning when he goes back home and my mom goes to work. He'll hold my hands for the entire night and play with my face until I fall asleep because he knows I love those things. He told me not to go on top of him because he gets boner, saying it's not uncomfortable for him, but it might be for me. He has never kissed a girl before, but I have lost my virginity. After I said it's okay, he started putting me on top of him and sometimes touching himself. What should I do? I don't want things to stop. All I want is for it to go further, but I still don't even know if he likes me.
Wait, what? Hold on, wait.
Y'all nasty.
Girl, that's your biggest issue? You don't
First of
know
all,
if he likes
how do you not know if he likes you?
I
think
mean,
he
his
like
body's
you.
responding.
Yeah, he like you.
you? Baby, that ain't your biggest issue.
Yeah,
The biggest issue is going to be when mommy and daddy find out that you're pregnant by your stepbrother.
you're right.
Y'all white, ain't you? Y'all white, huh?
Gotta be.
It gotta be.
Because there ain't no stepbrother of mine sleeping in no bed with me. You not touching me. Like, what are
Yeah.
you talking about? Don't touch me. We're family. We're brother and sister. But
Yep.
my helpful advice is stop it. My unhelpful advice is stop it. What is wrong with you? Go sit your little hot behind down talking about something you ain't in love with your stepbrother. You not in love with him. You hormonal. You want to have
Yep.
sex. That's
You
not
horny.
love. You're horny.
Yeah.
You're being a horny teenager, and it's understandable, but you, even as a teenager, have to know that some things are off limits. Being young is not an excuse for you to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
100% not.
Ugh.
That's all I gotta say about it.
Helpful advice from me. Stay in your damn bedroom.
Yeah.
Stop looking at Pornhub categories at 17
Yeah.
because that's only encouraging you, either one of you.
Mm-hmm.
Bad advice. Really, I can't do this because I'm a parent. But yeah, stop. Because I swear to God, if my son had a stepsister and they did something like this, I'm gonna beat both their ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, real talk.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. It's like, you understand. I am fucking your stepmother. I don't need you trying to fuck your stepsister. That is not how this works. This is me. You just benefit from a sibling, not with an in-house friends with benefits.
Yeah.
Yeah, stop watching Lifetime.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, Dad came out, not just play Bert.
Okay.
Oh.
William, what about you?
All right. So I don't have unhelpful advice. I just feel like this girl didn't watch Pornhub way too many times, scenarios, and she
Like,
got
she
curious.
lost her virginity. You need to sit
Shit.
Mhm.
that. You need to sit
Pornhub,
that
you need to
hot
sponsor us
vagina
with how
down.
many times we've been talking about you tonight.
Yeah. She
I
didn't
will
got
wear the
curious.
t-shirt.
She didn't got curious watching Pornhub, and now she wants her stepbrother to be her video. That's what that.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't nothing more than that.
That stuff is fake. Those people are not related on
Yeah.
those videos. They are
Amen.
not related.
It is a scenario that they are creating for nasty people that like
Right.
to see that kind of stuff. That is not real life. Ain't nothing good gonna come out of having sex with your brother. He is now your brother
Your
because,
brother. Can't take the step out of it.
yeah, that is your brother. Can't be doing
Can,
that. That is nasty.
can we
Stop.
just say this? Most of the time when you see those categories and you see those super attractive people, whoever you're eyeing is not nearly that attractive. Your teachers are not that cute. Your step sibling is your sibling. You have seen their dirty laundry. You have seen their cum socks. You have seen whatever. You know they nasty. Your
Mhm.
stepdaddy or stepmother is probably just as nasty.
Mhm.
Just stop it.
And if that ain't
Yeah.
enough, look at their parent and see how they gonna look in the future.
And the other thing is
That's
too,
what you gotta deal with.
your step parent is sleeping with your parent. Do you really want to be in the same situation as mommy or daddy?
Mm-mm.
Because it's either daddy's been inside mommy, then daddy's going in you. That's just nasty altogether. And that could be a whole pH issue. Or in the
Mhm.
case of son with stepmom and dad with stepmom, yo, that's too much sour cream in one taco. That no, no,
Disgusting.
no, no.
Disgusting.
Did
I
you
rest my case. I
did
know
you
I might have offended somebody tonight, but this is me keeping it real.
did yours already, Louis?
Oh, I just want to say one more thing. First of all, I can't believe somebody would pose that question and think that it's something that somebody's going to give you good advice to, or any kind of advice that ain't not to do it.
She a kid, so I'm gonna excuse her for that.
How old did you say she was?
She said
17.
17. She almost grown.
Just for
Shit.
asking a question, like just a question, because let's be real. How many times do y'all think that happens in real life or in any
A
race of
lot.
people? It
A
happens
lot.
a lot,
Yeah, it happens a
a
lot.
lot.
I know it's people that done that before. Like, ugh.
It happens a
People
lot
are disgusting.
because if they feel like you're not my blood sister, you're not my blood brother, so it's okay. No, it's not. It's not okay
Yeah,
ever.
that's the conception. That's the misconception. Once your
Right?
parents become an item and get married, then you two become siblings.
Exactly.
Which means it's off limits.
Yep, there ain't supposed to be no sexual tension between the two of you. And
And
if
if
there
there
is,
is, if you find yourself being attracted to your step sibling, talk to your parents about it,
yes,
please.
address the
Hopefully
issue.
you have good parents that's gonna actually listen because it's not abnormal for you to have for your hormones to be like that. And as a teenager, you're attracted to most people
Yeah,
that you shouldn't be attracted to. But that
yeah,
does not mean that you act on that.
mhm,
It's very normal and it's okay for you to have those feelings, but you should not act on it.
yeah.
Talk to your parents about it, please.
Did you give your good and bad already, Boone?
Hmm. I went first.
Uh, so for me, I'm gonna start mine with this. The helpful advice. Don't do drugs. If you're doing it, stop it. Get some help. McDonald's wants you to give yourself.
That was good.
But for real, I don't understand how somebody like. I've had a lot of people that weren't family that were family. Like, if you are family adjacent, like I'm not messing with you.
I'm the same way. But
Like
there's so many people who aren't like that,
you
really.
call my mom or dad, aunt or uncle or any, you know,
Yeah.
you're off
Yeah,
limits. Why would I do that? So
So funny story. Not saying that I got involved in any of this weirdness or whatever. But like one of my uncles, he married a red hair, blue eyed woman, and she had 3 kids.
Mhm.
Those 3 kids are around my age, right?
Mhm.
Maybe a couple years older, a couple years younger, so on and so forth. But my young, well, no, is she my youngest cousin out of the group? Whatever it was, we got along when we were kids. We hung out all this time. We became teenagers, and my grandma was like, she likes you. I'm like, I am not going to pursue anything that has to do with the Rin clan at all. That is nasty. And my grandma laughed so freaking hard on the whole thing. I'm like, no. but she really does like you. She dressed up whenever we were going to, like, so and so's graduation, and was all upset when you were wearing, like, your FUBU and your G. Yeah, I was like trying to impersonate a thug back in the 90s, right? She's like, yeah, you're all FUBU'd out and everything. And she's like, what, are you going to play basketball? I thought this was like, whatever. And I was like, Grandma, there's no way in hell I would ever pursue anybody in this damn family. I'm like, that's just not how this works at all.
And it's crazy because you will have some older people that be like, y'all should, Jay. I had a cousin that was like that, wanted me to date her son.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, y'all would have some pretty chocolate babies. And I'm like,
we family.
That's wild, bro.
Yeah. I'm like, we family. She might be married in, but we family. She cousin. We play Power Rangers together. No. We don't date on easy mode.
I don't know if that ever happened in my family, but somebody I was with before, their family had a lot of that in there. I'm just like, and when I first heard it, I'm like, like
my family got a lot of that.
I went to a funeral with her, right? And then she had told me about the story or whatever. I'm just like, so the people that was behind me and the one that was in front of me was doing it. They all family.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I always say, that's how I learned how to curb niggas. Cousins, I had to curb them niggas left and right. Still to this day, the ones that are married in, the ones that are related to me, still.
Yeah, no, we don't try to mess with the gene pool like that now.
That is disgusting. I don't get how y'all can rationalize it by saying we ain't first cousin. We all the way down. I don't care.
Come on,
cousin is cousin.
If you gotta do family math to try to justify that the familiarity is not the same, that's a little bit too much. I'm like, I might slip out into a country accent every now and again, but I am not that country. Okay,
exactly.
Let's be real.
I'm good.
If you met this person at a family reunion, that is your family.
That is not speed dating. Y'all are supposed to be enjoying some pulled pork and not pulling pork in the family, okay?
Exactly. Moving on to the next segment, which is the Black Life segment. Is there something you fear about your co-host or concerning your co-hosts? I'm just going to say, not necessarily fear, but just something that I don't want. I don't want to lose y'all. I'll say that. But fear is big. But like losing y'all, something that I don't want, which is a lot for me to say. Because I'm usually like, everybody's expendable.
I mean, I love y'all like family. That's for sure. And so, like, the whole fact that y'all invited me on here and everything, and this is one of the things I look forward to every weekend when I'm on. I'm like, oh, yeah, I got the podcast. I got my peeps. I know we're going to talk all night. We hang out and everything.
Big facts.
Like I said, if we all were, like, back in high school or whatever, you would be my flock. That's just how this works. But the one fear that I had coming on, was I do understand, like, I'm kind of like more on the dark and demented side on things sometimes. And so
you ain't darker than me, Bert. I'm letting you know.
No, we can have that contest now.
Letting you know.
If your fear is that you're darker than we are, I guarantee you
not. I can tell you that dark question kind of like subsided over time. But one of my biggest fears was like I would offend one of you guys on here at some point in time. And from what I see, like every time we get together, that has never happened.
Not even close.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, yo, we're talking about a veteran here. So there's dark humor there. I'm a little wild. I'll say some crazy shit. We all have a laugh for it. But yeah, there's never been a text message or a phone call or, hey, Bert, that one thing you said? You pissed me the fuck off. That's never happened.
Oh, how I wish that was true for everybody.
Yeah. So I know for me, like I think like around episode 4 of me being on here, I was like, yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't feel like we're easily offended.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So if somebody say that you offend them, just apologize.
And that would be the thing for me. I would ask like, hey, what did I say that pissed you off? And then like I would take note of it and just move on from there, because like whatever it was in the past. I'd just be like, hey, Royal or Boonie, can you just edit that out if it doesn't add any context to something? Just take my little block out, and then
There's nothing that has happened that I've had to edit out of you. Anything. Nothing.
Not when I talked about titties. Not when I talked about this or that.
No.
Talk about them titties. We
I mean, you had the porn episode come out where I was like, I shared the porn history with somebody.
Yeah.
I was like, whatever I said
That
has
was
not come off wrong.
Because I feel like it's really hard to offend us. So if you do, you
had to go out of your way to do it.
You had to go out your way to do it.
You gotta really try.
It's funny to me, but I feel like you said the darkness or whatever.
What was that?
I said it's funny to me because you said you feel like the darkness, like we're not as dark as you or whatever, and I feel like I'm Bane in the Dark Knight. You think the darkness?
I'm gonna act like I heard that. My reception is shit right now.
Oh no! Can you hear me now? It's still glitching?
I guess not.
Yeah, it's just a little bit, but you came back.
I said I feel like I'm Bane in the Dark Knight because I was raised in the darkness. I was born in it.
Oh, Batman! I see your riz is at a low level. I was born with the riz. I was loaded by it. I didn't even see bitches until I was a man.
I'm dark. I'm dark because I'm the spiritualist of the group, the seer. I chill with the spirit sometimes, so you can't tell me nothing that gonna spook me.
The one thing
that's weird
that I fear is
still kind of trippy.
It's not rooted in reality. My fear.
Yeah.
It's just what you said, like losing this because I don't want to. I don't want to lose this connection. I want it to be what it is now. And see it growing. I see it growing. So out of stagnation, but I feel like it's not rooted in reality because somebody gonna say something. Hey man, you've been a little sketchy. I ain't seen you in a minute. What's going on? Mm-hmm. We ain't talked in a minute. Hey, you said you was gonna do that one project right there. What's going on with that?
Right. We gonna hold each other accountable.
100%.
For sure.
Yes.
What about you, William?
Well, I don't really have a fear, but if I had to list one, it'd be the same one everybody else said, losing it. Like us not being able to do this. Because it's become something I look forward to. Like I have to be on here and be able to talk to y'all.
I look forward to it as well.
And show love to everything that y'all do and post all the time. I look forward to stuff like that. Y'all sending me stuff, me sending y'all stuff, everything that we've been doing. So that's it. Just not being able to do it.
Which is something that I don't think will happen, but of course we may grow. Things may be different. Some of us may not be present a lot of the time, but I feel like it would be nice to have this to come back to, even in situations like that. As we grow, maybe our careers will grow in different directions. Even while we work together, I know I'm not going to I'm not going to do every single thing with y'all, but there's a lot of things that I do want to do. But even if a situation like that happens, I feel like having this space to come back to and be like, even if we don't post every Saturday, or even if we don't come and record every Saturday like we used to, even if we get to a point where we only get to record one day out of the month, 2 days out of the month, or something like that, it's something. Like as long as it doesn't just go away altogether, I think it's fine as long as that don't happen.
Yep. Oh yeah, because evolution will happen. It's just
100%.
It's just once that occurs, like everybody's on the same page for the core team. It's like, hey, Royal's got a concert, Boonie's got photo shoot, Rambo's got his Riz working out at 1,000, and And I'm over here just screaming and going crazy and locked in the mental ward. Hey, we'll talk to each other in about 2 weeks. Is that cool? Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as we can lock back in, like,
Right.
because
Yeah.
I
Get
see,
back together.
right, I see us
Right.
all doing stuff or whatever. We still gotta make this time for each other too. And I don't see any position where any of us will get too big for it.
Right.
Right.
Still doing that? What you mean?
For sure.
These my peoples.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you still doing that? Yeah.
This
Of
is where our
course I am.
start was. You always go back to where you started.
Facts.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
100%. And on that note, we are going to end this episode right here. Thank you guys for coming and having this conversation with us for this Friendsgiving. It wasn't the typical Friendsgiving, but I wanted to take a minute to just, review what we have done so far, to kind of give like a progress report to see if we're being effective in each other's lives. And I like where things went. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on Spotify. Also follow us on social media at Royal Genius Entertainment for most of our platforms. But everything will be in the description. Also, don't forget that you can leave messages for us on Spotify, and we will play them on the episodes when you do leave them. You can tell us anything. If you want advice, you got questions, email us at royalgeniusreviews@gmail.com, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. But thank you for watching.
Also,
Bye.
one more thing. I know I'm a Scrooge, but this is gonna be released Thanksgiving week, so I hope that y'all do have a good Thanksgiving. However you choose to celebrate it.
I'll be frying
that too.
turkeys and drinking beer.
Happy Thanksgiving. I'll be somewhere with my family doing
And
something.
we love all of y'all. Peace.
Bye.
Everybody.